Right, boys, so today we are doing top 10 number 9s strikers of my lifetime. So the best of all time, but obviously it's only the last 30 years because it's pretty unfair to put people like Pally in when all I've seen is little clips. So let's jump into it. So first of all, honourable mention goes to Didier Drogba. Absolute unit of a striker, unstoppable at times, the most clutch final player I've ever seen, just scored in every single final. Part of the Chelsea team that dominated in England for a while, also scored the winning penalty that won them the Champions League. Just misses out along with this man, Fernando Torres. I genuinely think he was the best striker in the world at a period, at a time, at Liverpool. He was unstoppable. He had pace, he could finish, he was big, he was strong, he was just an absolute nightmare for defenders. So the two honourable mentions, I've probably missed a few more, but let's jump into the top 10. So in at number 10, we start with Wayne Rooney, absolute beast of a player. I think his prime was when he was younger. I think most people agree on that. His prime was when he was younger. As he got older, he could move positions. He moved back into centre mid because he was that good of a footballer. 569 games, 237 goals. There is not much more to be said for Wayne Rooney. Bald Rooney, everyone knows the meme of Bald Rooney, just unplayable. 5-time Premier League winner. He won the Champions League, he won the Europa League, and he's Man United's all-time top goal scorer. Fun fact, I was actually at the stadium when he scored the goal to break the record for Manchester United. He scored against Stoke. Terrible day, but what can you say? So, on to number 9, that is Samuel Eto'o for me. 587 games, 293 goals. He won the league in Spain and Italy, being the number 9 for 2 treble-winning teams on the bounce. Pace, power, good finish. He was absolutely sensational. Eto'o gets slept on in these lists, and I will not forget how good Samuel Eto'o was. In at number 8 for me, David Villa, another one who gets massively slept on. Whenever I mention him in my videos, people say that he's better, he's better. I can only assume they weren't old enough to see David Villa. He was absolutely unbelievable for a period. He could play wing, he could play number 9, 624 games, 333 goals, 3 times La Liga winner with 2 different teams. He won the Champions League, he won the World Cup, and he won the Euros as well. Just an absolutely devastating striker. Finished with both feet. Phenomenal player. In at number 7, we have got Andrei Shevchenko. Absolutely sensational. Ballon d'Or winning striker. If you Google who he beat to win the Ballon d'Or in 2004, the names on the list just shows the pedigree of this man. Another one who gets slept on because football's moving on. People who are on the internet tend to be younger, so they forget people like Shevchenko. Shevchenko was one of them who, when you used to play football with your mates and you say, I'm a player, you would be, I'm Shevchenko. 497 games, 235 goals. He won the Champions League. Also, he was the main man up front for that absolutely sensational AC Milan team. In at number 6, it is Zlatan Ibrahimovic. For me, I can't believe how technically gifted the man is at his height. I used to watch Peter Crouch and think, yeah, people don't appreciate how good he is at football because of how big he is, but Zlatan was completely levels. I've never seen a player that big be so technically gifted, so agile, capable of scoring every single type of goal you could imagine. 637 games, 405 goals. He won the league in 4 different countries. He won the Europa League at Man United, played beyond his 40s as well. I imagine he was just horrendous to play against for any defender. How do you defend that? In at number 5, we've got Robert Lewandowski. I mean, what more can you say about him? Talking number 9s, talking strikers, talking just pure goals. Absolutely top draw. There isn't many better. That's obviously why he's so high on this list. 722 games, 542 goals. He won the Bundesliga 10 times with 2 teams. He won the Champions League. He should have won the Ballon d'Or in the COVID season, but I don't understand why they didn't just give him the Ballon d'Or at the next ceremony and just backdate it and give it him, because he absolutely got robbed. He's been the top goal scorer in Europe twice. Just an absolute goal machine. When you think of goal machine, you think Lewandowski. In at number 4 for me, it's Thierry Henry. He might not have scored as many goals as other people on this list, but it's just the way he played football. The eye test, it never fails with Thierry Henry. That game against Real Madrid where he was strolling around the pitch in second gear, just better than everyone else, just shows how good the man was. He probably should have won a Ballon d'Or. He didn't, but everyone who saw Thierry Henry knew what he was about. 2-time Premier League winner, part of the Invincibles. He won La Liga twice with Barcelona, won the Champions League, won the World Cup. He was also top goal scorer in Europe twice as well. The Premier League's best player ever, in my opinion. Just an absolute god on the pitch and a fantastic fantastic pundit as well. I love listening to Thierry Henry talk. In at number 3, I've got Karim Benzema. Could have maybe even been better than his career's been. He did play second fiddle to Cristiano, maybe some other players over the years as well. One of the most unselfish number 9s on the list. Probably the best technically, maybe the best playmaker. You could argue that as well. Just absolutely oozing talent. Scored goals constantly, assisted constantly. He's obviously won the Ballon d'Or now. He's got 4 La Ligas and 5 Champions Leagues. 796 games, 420 goals. An absolute Real Madrid icon. Not much more to be said about Benzema. In at number 2, I've got Luis Suarez. He's definitely the best striker of the last 15 years for me. 742 games, 458 goals. He's won the Champions League. He won 5 La Ligas with 2 different teams. Copa America. He also won Europe's top scorer in an era when Cristiano Ronaldo and Messi were absolutely banging goals in. He'd run at you all day. He was just one of them players who seemed to run at people and the ball would just ricochet off him at some point and get past him. He was just a nightmare to defend against. His link-up play was very good. He could shoot with both feet. He could score all types of goals. Just an absolute beast of a player. And then in at number 1, just sneaking in, was my favourite player of all time. What could have been with this man? People remember 2002 when he dominated the World Cup, won it for Brazil, and his Real Madrid days. He was done by then compared to what he was before. I always argue that his prime was Barcelona, but at Barcelona and Inter Milan, he was unplayable. He is arguably the best, technically, the most hard to defend against player I have ever seen in my life. He had the lot. He had the skills, he had the pace, he had the power, he could finish, he was big, he was just there's a reason why they call him the phenomenon. Whilst he can't compare to Cristiano and Messi now because of the longevity, I would argue that if you could take a player on his day at his very best, you might have to pick R9. But that's my top 10 of the last 30 years. If you enjoyed this video, like this video, follow me or subscribe if you're on YouTube. And if you do like videos like this, I've got plenty more lists of other positions, etc. that I've got to go through. So if you want to see more, let me know in the comments.